This video is brought to you by FanDuel. Sign up today and battle your friends in daily fantasy challenges to win real money. Sign up using promo code WatchMojo.
Mixed martial arts, or MMA, has pretty much dominated every other martial art when it comes to popularity and entertainment value.
I respect that. I love when guys are that passionate and want it that bad, so I'm happy for them.
Welcome to WatchMojo's Top 5 Facts. In this 5-minute round, we're counting down the 5 most interesting facts that you probably didn't know about MMA.
Impress me with how interesting you are. It's a big game.
Number 5. UFC originally had no rules or weight classes.
We're just missing teeth there.
Multi-million-dollar ventures never get this big without reforms and governmental pressure. During the early 90s, UFC proudly branded themselves as having no rules, aside from a ban on biting and eye gouging. It didn't even have weight divisions until UFC 12. As a side note, if you've ever wondered why weight divisions are important, here's the Mountain from Game of Thrones play fighting with featherweight champion Conor McGregor. Anyhow, as the sport became more mainstream, it faced political pressure to be less brutally violent, most notably from Senator John McCain.
They have changed dramatically, but what it was at the beginning was human cockfighting.
Bit by bit, UFC abandoned its extreme angle in favor of making itself a legitimate sport. Even though they succeeded in that regard, some martial artists are not fans of the MMA style. Jackie Chan, for one, thinks it's too violent and nothing like a martial art. He says martial arts are about respect, not about hitting a guy when he's down.
If somebody gets in your face and calls you a cocksucker, I want you to be nice. Okay.
Number 4. The first official MMA death in North America was Sam Vasquez.
Obviously, it's a rough sport.
It's a contact sport. There's no question about it. We've never hid that, though.
So while as far as we know, no fighter has ever died as a result of a UFC fight, the record for other organizations is not so spotless. On October 20th, 2007, 35-year-old Sam Vasquez was up against 21-year-old Vince Lombardi during a Renegades Extreme Fighting event. The fight ended in the 3rd round when Vasquez was knocked out. Vasquez started to have a seizure after the fight and suffered a stroke while in the hospital. Sadly, on November 30th, 2007, after being comatose for 3 weeks, Vasquez died. It was officially ruled as the first death in a sanctioned MMA fight in North America, but with a handful of others occurring since then, it sadly wouldn't be the last.
Michael Kirkham had his first professional MMA fight at a local show in South Carolina. Kirkham was knocked out only 41 seconds into the match and never regained consciousness.
Number 3. George St. Pierre was the richest MMA fighter.
I'm very glad you won that fight, Matt, but I'm not impressed by your performance, and I look forward to fight you in the near future.
Every so often, we get new fighters in the spotlight, but the biggest name in the UFC might be GSP, whose estimated net worth today is $25 million US. In 2013, it was estimated that he made $9 million on fights and another $3 million from endorsements. With St. Pierre mostly retired today, Ronda Rousey is the highest paid athlete in the UFC. According to Forbes, these days Rousey is earning $6.5 million per year inside and outside of the UFC.
I just wanted to take you to dinner. Fine.
Naturally, only the elite performers earn the elite salaries. The average salary of a professional MMA fighter is about $34,000 a year. So if you're not the top fighter, you better start moonlighting.
There's no jobs for manager, it's just for counter.
Good. I'm looking for the least possible amount of responsibility.
Number 2. MMA fights are still banned in New York.
Oh my!
Caught him with a spinning back kick, he's hurt.
He hurt him big time.
He's
trying to finish.
Bad.
It is all over!
There have been some legendary UFC fights, but the most epic? UFC versus the state of New York. In the late 90s, almost every state banned so-called extreme fighting. But the UFC rallied, and today almost every state has officially sanctioned it. Ever since New York State banned MMA in 1997, the UFC has consistently tried to appeal the law in the US Court of Appeals. New York politicians argue that MMA is dangerous and fosters a culture of violence.
Think of the children! Won't somebody please think of the children?
According to UFC bigwig Dana White, there's some political intrigue at play. Apparently, some of the UFC co-owners run some non-union casinos, which enrages the Culinary Union, whose parent organization is based in New York State. The unions, alleges White, are the ones putting pressure on politicians to keep UFC out of New York. So it's basically a fight within a fight for a fight to take place at Madison Square Garden.
Any optimism that this is going to happen anytime soon?
You know, I've been optimistic about it for a long time, so I don't know how much more optimistic I can be.
Number 1. MMA is bloodier but less dangerous.
I can see it there. Look at that. Oh, man, that is nasty.
So while New York demonizes MMA, it's home to 3 teams in the concussion-plagued NFL. Mixed martial arts fights might show cuts, blood, bruises, and sometimes even broken bones. But multiple studies have found that MMA is generally safer for its athletes than other more common sports.
The ringside physicians immediately need to make sure that that fighter is A-OK and going to be able to get out of that ring and continue out.
In 2006, Johns Hopkins University found that MMA fighters suffered fewer risks of traumatic brain injuries compared to boxing. And a 2015 study from the University of Alberta came to the same conclusion. Think about it. In boxing, a fighter can get knocked down, but still get back up and keep fighting. And most blows are aimed at the head. In MMA, once a fighter is unable to defend themselves, the ref stops the fight, and there's less need for attacks to the head. Bottom line, MMA looks more damaging on screen than it actually is. I'm still not getting in the cage with Ronda Rousey, though.
Once you make it go past that, then that breaks the elbow. And
So, what do you think about mixed martial arts? Should more places ban it?
No, I'm afraid I'm going to have to know a little bit more than that.
For more no-holds-barred top 10s and massive head injury top 5s, be sure to subscribe to WatchMojo.com.
This video is brought to you by FanDuel. Sign up today and battle your friends in daily fantasy challenges to win real money. Sign up using promo code WatchMojo.